Alright guys, welcome back to my kitchen yet again. I'm going to redo the coconut ice that I did a while ago. This time I'm going to hope and pray that all the footage makes it in. So I'm going to bring you straight over and we're going to show you how to make coconut ice. Alright guys, so we've got some, as I say, some really simple ingredients. We've got 200 grams of desiccated coconut. I've got 225 grams of icing sugar. I've got the other half the tin of condensed milk, and I've got some pink food colouring that it's my gel food colouring, but I've just blended that into some water so we can get a nice colour there. So we're going to go straight into this. We're going to put all of that icing sugar into our bowl. We're then going to pour, or try and pour, not going to pour. We're then going to get that condensed milk into that icing sugar. I will state at this point that this is the non-cooking version of coconut ice. There is a version that you can make that uses egg whites and you cook it up, boil it like we did the tablet. So with this mix we're going to blend it all together. I'm going to start, obviously because it's icing sugar, by just moving it around gently without the power on, but once the mixture starts to stiffen up we're going to get the power onto it and just blend this all together. It takes a bit of work, but eventually you'll see that it does start to stick together and start to become almost like a dough, really. Just takes a while for that icing sugar to soak in the moisture from the condensed milk. Into that we're going to add our desiccated coconut, and this is a bit that can take a while, and you do either want strong arms or a stand mix. You just got to blend it all in, making sure you don't get any lumps of just pure icing. Okay, so we've done a little bit of cleaning up. You can see we've got our white and our pink ready to get it put into our pre-lined tray. So what we're going to do is we're going to take white first, and we're just going to press that down into our tin, covering as much of that tin as possible in a nice thin layer of this blend. Bear with me. Get down. As you can see, if you've got one, a wee PVC roller is ideal when you're working with this, because it doesn't stick and you can put some weight behind it and fill the bottom of that pan nicely. Make sure you fill it in all the way up to those edges, and get a nice even height right across the board. Then all we're going to do is we're going to go straight in with our pink layer. Going to give it a bit of a roll out on our work surface first, just to get it to a rough size that we're after, because if we start rolling this too firmly on top of our white, we can end up pressing it through, and that will not give us the effect that we're looking for our coconut ice. So that's give a sort of a rough size of what we're after. So we're going to get that in there, form it around a bit, and then we're just going to take our roller and just press that out gently. Press that out into covering the entire pan. Again, we're looking for a nice even layer all the way across. We don't want thick sections and thin sections. We'll neaten up the edges if you're going to be using this as wee gifts for people. You can give them nice neat squares when you cut it up. If it's just for family and friends, just as a wee treat when they come round, then it's absolutely fine to serve it with the rough edges, and you won't have to worry too much about that. As you can see, we've got a nice layer across there. There's still a bit of mottling in the pink, it does happen. And then all we're going to do to that is we're just going to take some of our leftover icing and we're just going to dust the top. So we used a sieve so there's no lumps, and then what we're just going to do is push that around, holding onto it just to make sure, just tap off that excess, like so. Then that's going to go in our fridge for at least an hour and a half before we can cut that and serve it up. But once it's had its time in the fridge, you can cut it into squares, put it into an airtight container, and that will last 3 to 4 weeks within that sealed container for treats and nibbles as and when over the wonderful festive season. So I hope you enjoy these. I'll show you a picture of the finished product shortly, just after this. But I hope you do give this recipe a try. It's a fantastic recipe to do, and it uses up the other half of the tin of our condensed milk from when we made the tablet. Thank you for coming to my kitchen. Bye-bye.